Welcome to the weekday Q&A with your host, Ryan Kennedy, where I answer questions submitted by our listeners like yourself. These short daily episodes cover a wide variety of topics to help bring you strategies, tools, and insights to optimize your health and better your life. Now on to today's episode. Hey folks, welcome back to the show. This is your host, Ryan Kennedy, and today's topic is natural remedies to resolve a sore throat. I think sore throats are the worst part about getting sick. Like the fever, the chills, the fatigue, all that stuff's not that bad to me. But the sore throat, when you just can't swallow anything, not even your own saliva without extreme pain, is in my opinion, by far the worst thing when it comes to catching a cold. And so today's episode is really going to dive into some of the most effective strategies I've found through my own research as well as through clinical practice with really reducing the swelling, the irritation, and the inflammation leading to all of that pain in the throat. And so this is extremely common. About a third of people get sore throats every single year. It's probably more than that, to be honest. And so how can you resolve it? Number one is going to be immune support. While this isn't targeting the sore throat directly, it's helping to resolve the problem systemically so that your body doesn't have the sore throat. Because what is the sore throat? It is a symptom of the infection or the illness that you've contracted. And so by supporting the body's immune system, you're going to eliminate the sore throat as well as all your other symptoms and just get better really, really quickly. And the best way I've found to do that is my dynamic duo of coupling vitamin A with a vitamin C. Most of you listening to this are probably like, oh yeah, vitamin C, Ryan, I've heard of that. Done. Most people don't understand how critical vitamin A is to the immune system. It's one of the most powerful fat-soluble vitamins for immune system support. And most people don't get enough of it because the only really good food source is animal liver, like grass-fed beef liver. And most people don't eat organ meats. And beta carotene is not vitamin A. This is what is in plants like carrots and sweet potatoes. And people say it's vitamin A, but it's a preformed version that your body has to convert. And most people do a very poor job converting it to actual vitamin A, which is called retinol. And so what I found is that taking supplemental vitamin A and vitamin C together at the first onset of a sore throat, I'm talking within an hour. So most of the time, when I'm getting sick, and I know this is the case for a lot of other people, the first symptom I get is a scratchy throat. Some people, it might be some head congestion or sinus issues. For me, it's a sore throat. And as soon as I feel that first onset of a scratchy throat, immediately I grab my vitamin A, grab my vitamin C. I take it with a little bit of food because vitamin A especially needs to be taken with food. Vitamin C can be taken on an empty stomach, usually without any problems because it's water soluble. And this is a miraculous trick I've been teaching so many of my patients for years to ramp up immune system function. And if you do it right away at the first onset of symptoms, what you'll find is you don't get sick at all, which is freaking miraculous. You ramp up immune function to the point where your body beats whatever, virus or pathogen it's fighting off, and you feel great. The success rate is phenomenal. I'm talking 90% plus with these two powerful nutrients. They're both very cheap. I don't want to give any dosing recommendations because it does very much depend on your body weight. It is a pretty hefty amount of vitamin A, but it's also short term. So vitamin A, being fat soluble, is a vitamin you could get too much of, and you don't want to overdose. But the amounts of those two, again, I'm not going to share in this particular video simply because I don't want people to go off and just do what I do. But that is going to be an incredible way is to get real vitamin A, which is retinol. Carlson vitamin A 10,000 IU is my favorite for that. And then a good vitamin C, it could be a liposomal vitamin C. It could be a magnesium or a mineral ascorbate, which is vitamin C bound onto a mineral base. Much better than just pure ascorbic acid, although plain old ascorbic acid will do the trick. And this is a short-term protocol. This is something you do for 3 or 4 days. And man, does it help you, one, just not get sick at all in the first place. And two, even if you end up getting sick, it will really speed your recovery and reduce the days of illness. Next is gargling salt water. Putting some good quality sea salt in warm water and gargling it can really help to kill some of the bacteria in the throat. And it's really simple. it's accessible to virtually everyone because everyone has water and salt. And you just gargle this mixture and be sure to spit it out. Don't swallow the water after you've been gargling it, because that's just going to get all that pathogen load down into your gut. You want to spit it out. And this will really help clear up the sore throat. This can be done every couple of hours, and it will provide an improvement in symptoms. It's not going to make your sore throat magically disappear. Most of this stuff isn't going to do that. The vitamin A and the vitamin C trick is probably the closest thing to that, but it'll help. Anything that helps is worth doing, especially if it's cheap and easy. The next thing on my list is colloidal silver. Not many people have heard of colloidal silver, but it's a safe natural substance that has powerful antibacterial and antiviral properties. And studies have shown that it can really kill off upwards of 650 different disease-causing pathogens when you expose them to colloidal silver. So it's well studied. It's a very powerful natural substance to treat the common cold, influenza, even more serious things like pneumonia it can really help with. And due to these antibacterial properties, it's great for knocking out a sore throat, antiviral properties as well. So you could take some internally, dilute it in water, but you could also put it in a little spray bottle and spray it in the back of your throat, which can definitely help. Next thing that can help soothe the sore throat is just a warm tea with fresh squeezed lemon. And then on top of that, you could always add in a little bit of raw honey. And that combo of tea, whether it be a chamomile tea or any type of herbal tea really, with the lemon and honey, can really help to soothe that irritation and that pain in your throat. And so that's another thing that's pretty easy. Most people have those things lying around the house. So it's a pretty simple thing. And the honey will have some additional antimicrobial properties. The lemon will have some, vitamin C and other nutrients. And it's just more so the soothing nature of that combo that I find particularly helpful. And any warm beverage for that matter will be helpful. Drinking things like bone broth, I'm a big fan of that when I'm sick, because it's one helps just for some easy to digest nutrients and amino acids and has a lot of general benefits. But drinking that savory warm broth is just very comforting when you're feeling under the weather. And so that's another thing that I find. And because you want to avoid things that are harder to swallow, and liquids like bone broth or doing a smoothie can be definitely helpful in this situation. And then there's one product I do like. It's made by Herb Farm. It's called Soothing Throat Spray. And this is just something that you spray in the back of your throat, and it's got some herbs that just help support the immune system and help with sore throats. Things like echinacea. It's got some sage. It's got a couple different things in there. And again, it just helps, doing that a couple times a day can definitely improve your symptomology. So those are some different strategies that I found to be effective. There's other things like aloe vera you could use as well to help, heal and reduce the inflammation. There's other immune support like vitamin D and zinc and all sorts of other things I could rattle off. Medicinal mushrooms, olive leaf extract, colostrum. But without overwhelming yourself, I wanted to give you the basics to really have a working foundation, and then adding other things in the mix usually won't hurt. And then when it comes to kind of other general things to keep in mind, be sure you're getting plenty of sleep. Be sure that you're steering clear of sugar, which suppresses the immune system, and focusing on good fats, good proteins as the main bulk of your diet. Drinking plenty of water, all that sort of good stuff will help you bounce back quick.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you found it helpful, please share it along to anyone else you believe it can serve. You can submit your own question to be answered on the show by going to ryankennedyhealth.com/podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review for the show. Your feedback helps to support me on my mission to positively impact as many people as possible with this information. Please note, the information depicted in this episode is purely for informational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare professional before making any changes to your lifestyle or routine.